Welcome back to Vintage Shots, the place where the past finds its voice through the grain of a silver halide print. Today, we're stepping into a time machine, back to an era that didn't just change fashion, it changed the world. Look at these images. Really look at them. What do you see? You see boldness, you see defiance, and most importantly, you see a revolution that was measured in inches. We're talking about the miniskirt and the schoolgirls who used it to shatter the status quo. In the mid-20th century, the world was a very different place. The 1950s had been a decade of rigid tradition. Women were expected to be modest. Skirts were long, heavy, and restrictive. Society had a very strict idea of what a proper young lady should look like. But then, the 1960s arrived, and with it, a scream of independence. This was the birth of the youth culture, a time when for the first time in history, young people decided they didn't want to look like their parents anymore. They wanted to look like themselves. Enter Mary Quant, a name that sends shivers down the spine of tradition. From her small, vibrant boutique in London called Bazaar, she introduced a style that was playful, cheeky, and absolutely scandalous. Mary Quant didn't just design a piece of clothing. No, she designed a symbol of freedom. She once said that it was the girls on the street who invented the miniskirt. She just made them shorter so they could run, so they could jump, so they could live. While the older generation looked on in utter shock, the youth of the world embraced it with open arms and bare knees. Now, let's talk about the true battleground of this fashion war, the schools. Imagine it's 1965. You are a schoolgirl caught between two worlds. Behind you are the strict rules of the Victorian past. In front of you is the electrifying rhythm of the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and a new sense of self. These black and white photos we're looking at today, they capture that exact tension. School uniforms have always been a subject of controversy. Traditionally, they were meant to promote modesty, discipline, and uniformity. But the miniskirt? It was a direct challenge to authority. Look closely at the girls in these photographs. Notice the subtle rebellion in their eyes. They knew the rules, but they also knew they were changing. Many of these girls would leave their homes with their skirts at a respectable length, but the moment they stepped onto the bus or into the school hallway, something magic happened. They would roll up the waistbands higher and higher. It was a silent, collective rebellion, a way of saying, I am here, I am young, and I am independent. Teachers and principals were furious. They saw it as a breakdown of morality. Can you imagine? Some schools went to extreme lengths to stop it. They implemented the infamous ruler test. A girl would be made to kneel on the floor, and a teacher would use a wooden ruler to measure the distance from the floor to the hemline. If it was more than 2 or 3 inches, you were sent home in shame. You were told you were a distraction. But did that stop them? Absolutely not. The more the authorities resisted, the more powerful the movement became. Because this wasn't just about clothes, it was about reclaiming the female body from the constraints of the past. The textures in these photos tell a story of their own. These skirts were often made from wool, heavy cotton, or that brand new miracle fabric, polyester. They were paired with thick, colorful tights or those iconic knee-high socks. Look at the shoes, the simple loafers, the Mary Janes, the go-go boots. It was a look that was both innocent and incredibly powerful. It was a uniform for a new kind of woman, one who wasn't afraid to be seen. And this movement, it wasn't just happening in London or New York, it was truly international. From the bustling streets of Paris to the classrooms in Tokyo to the sun-drenched schools in Sydney, the miniskirt became a global language. It represented a fundamental shift in how women viewed their role in society. They were becoming more assertive, more decisive, and certainly more visible than ever before. When we look back at these vintage shots, we aren't just looking at old fashion trends, we are looking at the archive of a social earthquake. We see the courage of young girls who dared to be different, who dared to be too much for a society that wanted them to be just enough. They paved the way for the freedoms we enjoy today. Every time a woman chooses what to wear without fear of judgment, she is standing on the shoulders of these 1960s rebels. The miniskirt helped break the chains of traditional dress codes, offering women the freedom to express their personality, their strength, and their joy. Think about it for a moment, a simple piece of fabric causing a global cultural shift. It challenged the very definition of appropriate. It proved that fashion is never just fashion. It is a reflection of who we are, and more importantly, who we want to be. These photos are not just paper and ink, they are the echoes of a shout for freedom. Before we continue exploring more of these incredible images from our archives, I want to hear from you. What do you think when you look at these vintage school photos? Does your country have a famous story about school uniform rebellions? Maybe your mother or grandmother was one of these rebels. Leave a comment below. I read every single one, and let's get the conversation started. If you love these glimpses into the past as much as I do, if you find beauty in the grain of history, then please hit that like button right now. It really helps this channel reach more history lovers like you. And if you haven't joined the Vintage Shots family yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and turn on all notifications. We have so many more stories to tell, so many more faces to show you from the hidden corners of the archives. Share this video with a friend, someone who appreciates vintage style, or someone who needs a reminder of how powerful a little rebellion can be. Let's keep the spirit of these rebel girls alive. Look at this next set of photos. Focus on the expressions. There is a sense of pure joy there, isn't there? A sense of discovery. They weren't just wearing a skirt, they were wearing their identity. Even in grainy, flickering black and white, that energy shines through the decades. It's vibrant, it's alive, and it's eternal. The legacy of the 1960s miniskirt lives on in every wardrobe, in every street, and in every heart that values freedom. It reminds us that sometimes to move forward, you have to cut the old ties, or in this case, you have to cut the old hemlines. You have to be brave enough to show the world who you really are. Thank you truly for joining me on this long journey back in time. It's been an honor to share these images with you. Remember, the past is never really dead. It's just waiting for us to look closer. Stay curious, stay vintage, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep looking at the world through your own lens. Goodbye for now.